Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm now sitting down with none other than Debbie Burdette, Miss Buzz.
In February, I'm known as Debbie.
Debbie,
yes,
okay, Debbie.
That's my character in February.
Well, you know, Debbie, you brought me in these beautiful antlers here.
That's right.
And we're here to talk about a very important upcoming event that's going to be taking place in our community. But Debbie, just tell us, again, you're just like my previous guest. You need no introduction.
Oh.
People in this community know you from way back when because you have been a champion for education in our community and more so for literacy. And I just want to say thank you for what you do for the hundreds of students that you've impacted. Why do you do that, Debbie?
Well, I just feel called to give back to this community that's been so good to me and my family, and it's just a great place to work and live and play, and I want everyone to know that and have that opportunity. Mm-hmm. That, you know, the opportunity for a great education is here, and we just need to work on that one.
Absolutely. And you know, and so many times, Debbie, as being an educator or being in the school system, and you impart knowledge to the young people, and you kind of wonder whether or not they're actually getting it, whether or not they're grasping it. You had, I guess, in a kind of an epiphany, I guess you to say, just last week when you attended the chamber breakfast. Share that story with us, if you don't mind.
Oh, this is a wonderful story, and as I told Alton, I could just stop what I'm doing right now, but some of you may not know, but one of the things from the profits that we get from the fundraisers is we purchase dictionaries to give to all the third graders in Troup County. And Keyshawn Freeman was the speaker at the chamber breakfast. And so I went up to him, and I was dressed like my bee, but I said, today I'm a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket for you. And when he looked at me, he said, perseverance. He said, I remember getting that dictionary in the third grade, and the word that you told us was perseverance, the will to keep working until the job is done. Oh, and that just, you know, that just said it all. So what we are doing in the community, I feel like it's making a difference.
Absolutely. And I'll say, don't ever stop, Debbie.
Buzz.
Don't ever stop. Well, Debbie, we're here now to talk about the 20th annual CLCP Spelling Bee.
That's right.
I was like, you know, just before we had the Azalea storytelling that's been going on now for 20 plus years, and now the spelling bee, 20 plus years.
That's right.
There was a song that came out, Party Like It's 1999. So
that's when it started.
That's when it started.
1999, when we were so young.
We
don't
were.
Remember that.
We were talking about that a moment ago too. Talk a little bit about the spelling bee, if you don't mind, for us, Debbie.
Well, we're going to say it's a celebration because it is our 20th year, and it is a spelling bee for adults. They're teams of 3 adults, and they're sponsored by community organizations or by businesses, and some of our spellers have been spelling for 20 years, and the goal is to win the spelling bee and to get bragging rights and to take this trophy home and keep it for a year.
That's right.
And part of it is for a family event, so children and students can see that you never stop learning, that you still can have fun learning and being part of the spelling bee. I mean, it's a fun event. And we have Carol Kane, who is our bee bouncer, and she escorts when you misspell a word, she will escort you off the stage. And so, like I said, it's a fun event, and we want you to bring your children so they can see that adults are still lifelong learners.
Absolutely. And then too, you know, hopefully they may even hear some words there that they can incorporate into their vocabularies, right?
Absolutely. Renee Willis is our pronouncer, and she comes up with the spelling bee list, and the words are in an envelope that are sealed and will be opened that night, but she comes up with some words that I've never heard of, but some of these spellers, they can just spit it out. Okay. They're good.
Absolutely. And you're talking about, it is for adults, and there are various teams. And I have the listing of from last year. We had Batson Cook, LaGrange Academy, Calumet Bank, who won last year.
That's right. And they're coming back.
So look out.
They want to take the trophy back to the bank.
That's right. Now, how many members are on each team?
There's 3.
Okay.
3, and people say, well, I can't spell, but if you can just get one person on your team that can spell, because when Renee gives you the word, the 3 of you have a couple of seconds to, you know, write down the word and try to figure out the best way to spell it, and then they take turns going to the microphone to spell the word. Okay. And we have had some contestants that were so nervous that they've had the word spelled correctly on their pad, but when they get up to the microphone, they misspell the word.
Oh my goodness.
It is horrible, and they'll show the judges, look, I spelled it correctly. But you know, that's the rules of the spelling bee. You have to spell it out loud correctly and not have it written correctly. So it is a lot of fun, and we encourage the spellers to dress up and to to have fun with it. Like the Calumet Bank that won last year, they were the word nerds, and so they kind of dressed the part.
The word nerd.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So is there a theme this year for it at all?
Well, it's just a celebration, just a spelling bee, and we want everyone to be there and have a good time. We have free popcorn, and we have door prizes and free admission. It's a good time. So if you missed doing something for your Valentine today on Valentine's Day, you can bring them to the spelling bee for free. For free entertainment.
Okay. Well, that better be a seasoned Valentine person.
That's right.
So how many teams do you all want to have in this?
Well, we have had as many as 20 teams before, but it works out time-wise to have maybe 12 or 13.
Okay.
So we have 11 committed teams already, and we're expecting a couple of more. And Alton asked me, well, when's the last time to put a team up? And I said, if you want to walk in the door and you have 3 people and $500 to sponsor a team, we'll put you on stage.
Okay. Well, very good. So at the last minute.
At the last minute, yeah.
What about when they get down to the final and didn't want to put a team? Can I do that?
No, you got to be there at 7 o'clock is when it starts. And that's February the 26th.
Okay.
At Callaway Conference Center at West Georgia Tech.
Okay. Well, very good. And because Debbie, you've been involved with literacy for, like I stated, for a very long time, and this is something, and you have said this a number of times about our community. Talk about why it is so important for our community to be a literate community.
Well, we support workforce and economic development and to have a good quality of life in our community, and we know that having an educated workforce is part of all of that. And we work with the city, and we work with businesses. One of the other things that our proceeds from our fundraisers support our GED test. If we get these students that, for whatever reason dropped out of school, if we can get them back to get their GED, then they can go into the workforce and have a better quality of life for themselves and their family and for the community.
Absolutely.
So the GED test costs $160. So if you're underemployed or unemployed, that's a lot of money. So the GED classes are free. We have the classes at West Georgia Tech, and they're free. And once you get to a certain point and you're ready to take the test, we're there for you.
Okay. Absolutely. And a lot of people don't know, but Debbie and I both served on the Literacy Volunteers of Troup County, where we do see individuals coming in, that take full advantage of our services, and they welcome those services too. And it is a place where they can come and not have to feel embarrassed or afraid to come, and we tutor them in math, reading, computer skills, and those are the things, the soft skills that you and I sometimes may take for granted that we have that ability to do so.
Right.
So it's so important that we continue to work to make our community a literate community, and not only for our adults, but you also have a rockabye baby reader here too.
Right. We say our program goes from conception to resurrection, and with part of that conception is we give these books. They're called rockabye baby readers to the new mothers that have babies at Wellstar, West Georgia Health, and we talk to the mothers about the importance of reading to their babies and education. And if some of them don't have their GED or high school diploma, we encourage them to come back. And part of what you were saying about literacy volunteers is that's a beginning step, because reading and lower literacy skills, we've got to build up and to build our students up, because sometimes there are problems or they're embarrassed to come back. So we start with these babies and talk to their mom about the year that baby's going to graduate and the importance of education and reading. So we're trying to start early.
Absolutely, and it is so, as you said, so vitally important. And I don't want to leave before we mention. I think we may have mentioned Jack Mormon is going to be our MB.
Yes, Jack Mormon has been with us for a long time, and he's a well-loved member of the community. And he is our MB, and he gets the show rolling and keeps it rolling, and he's a big part of it.
Okay, and then for spectators, I know that the teams are welcome to come and of course participate. Spectators also invited to come out?
Oh yes, we need spectators, because if you can come and support a team, if they can get 10 members of the audience that says we're here for this team, then the spelling bee team gets a free pass.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
So
my.
if they come to a word that they're not quite sure about, they can pick another team and pass it on to them and try to get them out. So I mean, there's a lot of competition going on right here.
Okay.
So we do need audience participation, as in come and support your team and help them to get a free pass.
Oh, my.
To knock out another
Another
speller.
team.
Yeah, knock out another team.
Oh,
so.
my goodness. And you know, and I can remember the year that the city had a team in. We came down, and I think we made it to like the last 5, 6, and I really had a good time. It was myself, Jim Delano, and I can't think of the other gentleman's name at this point. I've been trying to think of it, but we had a really good time, and it is for a very worthwhile cause here in our community. Not only do you get that very nice trophy
That's
there
right.
and bragging rights for a year, but you also get, because you're there as well, right, Debbie?
Buzz, buzz. Yes, I am.
Buzz, and kind of buzzing around.
That's right.
And tell us again where it's going to be held. I know we talked about it, but tell us again where it's going to be held.
Okay, it's February the 26th, which is a Monday, 7 o'clock at the Callaway Conference Center at West Georgia Technical College. And like I say, free admission. We have popcorn, and we'll have a big cake, and that we have a light meal for our spellers. And so usually there's a big cake that we have that we left over, and we'll let the audience have some cake, some celebration cake.
All right, well, very good. So Spelling Bee starts at 7 o'clock, and that's going to be that Monday, February 26th at the Callaway Conference Center, West Georgia. So definitely come on out. You don't want to be left out.
That's right.
And you always, Debbie, it is buzz,
Buzz, because we are making education the buzzword in Troup County.
Absolutely. Debbie, I want to thank you for coming on and bringing your energy as well as Carol's energy that was just here a moment ago. So two very important persons in our community doing great things in our community. And I'm going to tell you, just like I told Carol, don't stop, keep going.
Keep going, keep buzzing.
Keep buzzing. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week in just a moment.
I'm LaGrange.